Hello and welcome to Content Junkeez, your home for all things content creation. I am your host, Austin Alvarez, and I am joined by our co-host, Mr. Robert Condol.
Woohoo! What's up, world?
So we aim to have this podcast as a solution, I would say advice, I would say a how-to guide, or even just some inspiration on how do you cut content, why you should cut content, what does it mean to cut content, and
Everything
content,
Yeah.
even like how to consume it, I guess.
How to post it, how
Yep.
to shoot it, how mindset. I think today we're going to talk mindset, right?
Yes,
a little bit of
yes.
mindset. There's a lot of people with some hurdles.
Yes, but before we do that, let's go ahead and so the people know who we are if they haven't met us. Robert, go ahead and tell everybody about your experience and how long you've kind of been doing this.
Oh my God, 2004. I started doing media in 2004. I was 24. I worked in LA and Hollywood since 2016. I was a television broadcast editor for Amazon, Disney, Fox at the time before the merger, NBC Universal. Pretty much most television studios. I worked for a vendor that serviced them. So long time. In 2016, I moved to Vegas, started my media company. I went bankrupt before I started my media company. And then from 2017 till now, I run my LLC, which is Creative Collective Media. And that's how Austin and I started crossing
Paths almost,
I
yeah.
guess, yeah.
Man, that's a lot to kind of go up against. I haven't been doing it nearly as long. I started professionally editing in about 2018 by doing podcast editing. Professionally video editing in about 2020. I got hired on to do weddings and social media things and video podcasts, and then eventually got picked up here at Sticky Paws Studios, where I now am the head of the editing department. But I still have my small production company, Alvarez Productions, where I work with people like yourself or content creators like who you service, who may not necessarily have the know-how to make content or even to create content or even what to do with it when they do have it. So you and I provide solutions both together and apart.
I like that word, solutions.
Yes. Yeah, because we ultimately do create solutions because, yes, it's one thing to have content, but then what do you do with it? But before you get that, you may encounter what we call the mental gap of getting out of your own head.
Yeah, I like this topic.
Yeah, this was a great first topic because I feel like everybody who we've encountered has had this at some point to some extent.
This also doesn't just apply to content. Like this is like a self thing. We're gonna go deep into some. We may hit some traumas. We may trigger some people.
We may. So I would say the first thing you need to do is learn how to get over that mental gap of being nervous and scared. Mm-hmm. Because we've all been there. I've been there, especially where I'm like, man, I really want to create this content, but what if I get made fun of, or what if I get laughed at for creating the content?
Well, that's a legit concern because like putting yourself out there, that's what you're gonna do. What you're gonna do. I think the first step to that is that's it. Put yourself out there and just let it go. Just let it go. Just let it go. Just let it go. Literally. It's like holding in a pee. You just gotta let it go.
Yeah, sometimes it's
and
better
then
to go
you feel
out.
Instantly okay, right?
Yeah.
But Lana's laughing. But it really is that. It's like, we're our worst own enemy, right? Like everybody is in their head. Like I was a little nervous before we started, and now I'm good, right? So it's like that's okay. Nervousness and excitement, they're the same feeling.
It shows that you care about what you're doing.
Yeah,
I found that being nervous about it shows that you actually care about what you're about to do. Because if you're not nervous, you're like, this is just another thing I'm going to do. Your mind's not going to be in it. Your heart's not going to be in it.
Yep.
You're not going to be as passionate about it. So if you're nervous, that's a good sign. I would say use that as motivation to fuel you into being like, well, I'm nervous about this. I obviously must care about it. I should really fulfill this.
I think there's two things to this mental block. One of them is a vanity thing, and another one is that they just don't know what to do when they're on camera. And there's so many parts to this. Like there's what we call media training, right? And you can do this at home. And the first thing I say is like record yourself on your iPhone in a safe space where no one's watching, and you just do a take. And then from there, watch it. It's gonna be fucking cringy. You're going to hate what you do, but that's how you correct yourself, is by watching yourself over and over if you care about how you look. Like some people don't care about how they look, right?
Right.
But there's things to that. There's like mannerisms you need to correct. Like sometimes I like fidget and I touch my face. So the only way I knew that is because I recorded myself 1,000 times and I'm like, fuck, I keep touching my fucking face. I don't want to do that. So I correct myself, and it just takes a lot of time to do that. But the first step I would say is just like start recording yourself or practice in front of a mirror.
Yeah, I'd say the mirror especially. And a big thing I have found, also going back to the rewatching it, is like you can find if you use crutch words a lot. Like I use like all the time.
Do?
I do all the time. I found
those are contagious too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like if somebody says it like Austin, then it's like here we go.
Yep.
We're like Malibu chicks right now. Like we're
pero
like we're from the valley.
Yeah, pero like
that coffee looks like really like good. I'm also from California, so that's like
yes, and no, I'm Vegas born and raised. But to kind of wrap everything up, you have a really good thing you listed here in the notes about idea, execute, post, learn, repeat 1,000 times.
Yeah.
So I agree with this, and I'll let you go into it deeper. But when it pertains to podcasting, because I have this conversation a lot with new shows, episode 1 is going to be bad. It's okay. But you can't get to episode 100 until you do episode 1.
It's like gym reps, man. You can't do 1,000 pounds yet. I mean, can anyone do 1,000
can anybody do 1,000 pounds?
I don't know.
But you can't do 25 pounds if you can't even lift 5.
Yeah, you can't do 5 reps if you don't do 1, right? So it's just repetition, and then eventually you build muscle memory, like that. But the only way to get there is just doing it a bunch of times. So
yeah, absolutely. So if we were to end this show right now, what would you tell anybody who, one final sentence, what would you tell somebody who is they're right there. They're right on the edge of the cliff of like, I'm going to start making content. What's the push we need to give them right now?
You just got to jump. Just jump, dude. Just do it.
Just jump. As long as
here's the thing.
Physically not jumping.
Here's the ratio I always go with, right? Here's the ratio. Like, think about the idea for 5 minutes and then spend the rest of the time executing it and figuring it out. Like if you're thinking about more than 10 minutes, get out of there. Just do it. And then you'll figure it out. That's my thing. Like you got to train your brain not to overthink. So don't overthink. Maybe think about it for a couple minutes and then go spend the rest of the hour, the 55 minutes, to figure it out.
And figuring out could mean filming it,
Yep.
storyboarding, coming up with ideas, coming up with anything.
Anything but sitting there and thinking about it.
Yeah. And also, to end with an actionable step, you don't need a $5,000 camera to do this. You literally, if you have a smartphone, you're already there.
This whole podcast
This whole thing you're seeing
on
is
iPhones.
Is on iPhones. Yep. This whole thing. Now, do Rob and I like using the big cameras? Yeah, but it's at the end of the day, sometimes if you need to get it done, the iPhone is actually more than capable of getting what you need done.
Absolutely. Any phone right now.
Any phone.
Yeah,
really.
any phone.
Are Androids that good now?
Even like an iPhone 7. Yeah, dude, I used to film shit on GoPros, like really bad GoPros.
The old ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Just start recording.
Just do it.
Get your reps in and just do it. That's what I would say.
Well, I want to say thank you to everybody who checked out our first episode of Content Junkeez. This is going to be something we do weekly, but we're also going to have other content. So we could have gear reviews. Robert's putting on the Meta glasses right now. I like how they're Ray-Bans too, because they're still stylish, but like, so he has cameras in those glasses.
Hey, Meta, record this podcast. Didn't want to do it. I have to say record a video.
Oh, see, it's like, I don't understand that. But we're going to have other things like studio tours. We're going to start working with other collaborators and other people in the industry that you may want to hear from, such as a podcast director or other studios that do what we do, or somebody who necessarily didn't know that they needed content. And then they, I would like to say, found the way to now they have content.
Can I put a call to action?
Absolutely.
If you have ideas of what to film, we're open to all those.
Yeah.
'Cause we want to listen to the audience.
Yeah. So absolutely. So going forward, you can find this in the description and the show notes. If you have an idea or a suggestion for the show, you can reach out to us at cjp@stickypawsstudios.com. I'll put it up on the screen as well so you can see that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this first episode. We wanted to make sure that people understood, like, before you start making content, you have to just get over that hurdle. Get over that mental gap of, I'm scared to make content. So
sometimes you got to pay a coach.
Sometimes you, and we'll get to that in a future episode of when should I hire out. But we're being your coach right now. We're telling you, you can go do it. So stop watching this right now and go start creating content right now. If you're thinking about it, turn this off. We love you. We know you're listening. Turn this off. Go start making content right now. And until next time, everybody, see you then.